There's a conspiracy theory that I'm not me.
How would you describe your music?
I would describe my music and my sound as Avril Lavigne.
If you've never heard of Avril Lavigne before now, get ready to hear it a lot.
This singer-songwriter took her pop-punk sound to the top of the charts around the world.
She was on the fast track to stardom.
She's music's next big thing. The girl who's just one of the boys.
She's hot. She's got that attitude, and she don't take nothing from nobody.
Go in there and listen to this. Go.
And the winner is Avril Lavigne!
She's too punk rock.
I'm not punk rock.
Yeah, I always hate when I get labeled punk or whatever because I'm not.
You want to know what I think that I am? I think that I'm just a rock chick. I like to go nuts. I like to lose myself on stage.
She definitely is a rebel. She just says what she wants to say and does what she wants to do and let the chips fall as they may.
She's been a multi-platinum selling artist since the tender age of 17.
It's been 20 years now since Avril Lavigne made her blockbuster debut.
Could you have imagined that you'd still be doing all of this 20 years into your career?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just been going nonstop, and that was like...
Everything just blew up so fast. It's like, just became too much.
Hi, this is Avril Lavigne. I can't do it. This is the diary of Avril Lavigne.
How did all of this begin?
I always kind of wanted to be different and stand out, and I never really wanted to be, a normal person and have a normal lifestyle.
Avril was born on September 27th, 1984.
And raised in Napanee, Ontario.
You grew up in Canada in a really small town with like 5,000 people. How would you describe your childhood like before you were famous?
Normal as
Growing up in a small town, do you think that forced you to be creative? Because there wasn't much to do?
Yeah, I think so. And plus, half the time I was always grounded and in my room and had nothing else to do but write. Play my guitar.
Avril was exposed to the music because she was in Sunday school every week. I recall the first time I ever heard Avril sing. I was sitting in the living room in the rocking chair, and she was on my lap. And I started singing Jesus Loves Me. And she piped in and started joining me.
Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible told me so.
She grew up knowing exactly what she wanted to do.
I started singing in church. That was where I sang my first solo.
Avril was driven from day one to be successful. She was singing on her bed in the mirror, pretending to be a rock star when she was a little kid.
It's all I ever thought about, and I'd sit there in my room and play guitar, and I kind of knew that it would happen. It's because I believe that I was supposed to, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
But what's it like just constantly being with, like, four guys when you're so
First of all, ever since like the first time I met them, instantly we all became best friends.
What does your parents think of your look? That was always a problem. Whenever I go to sing, my mom would be like, okay, you need to do this hair nose. I need to wear a dress. I'm like, no, I don't want to wear a dress. How was it with school? I was really bad in school. I didn't have any motivation. I'd sit in class and doodle.
The music was a big part of her life. She was singing around this local area between Kingston and Belleville. She was always on stage. She was loving it, country, gospel, that sort of thing. Big in our school productions as well. Very outgoing girl and wanted to be a star.
Meanwhile, her father was pushing to make her fantasy a reality. He got a drum kit, a keyboard, and several guitars and turned her basement into a music room. And that's where I spent all of my time after school.
My mom, pushed really hard to get the people at the church to let me sing. And they were like, she's so young, we don't want to put her up on stage. But then I sang one time, and they kept asking me to come back.
We just heard about her because we've been covering her for years. She used to sing at country showdowns, and she used to sing in, Centerville fairs.
It was my goal to give other young people the opportunity to get up on stage and in an environment where they could blossom.
Did you sing with Shania?
Yes,
You
I
did?
did. When I was 14 years old, yeah, I won a competition to sing with her on stage, and so I sang in front of about 20,000 people.
Were you nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous. I was just really excited. I reached a point where I was kind of like, Mom, Dad, I don't really want to really be singing gospel songs and country songs anymore. And I was, I was getting older, and I was in high school, and it was getting kind of weird, and I didn't really know what to do. So I started writing my own songs.
I am capable of writing. I've been, I used to write poems when I was younger and storybooks, and now I write songs. And I've always been a really sensitive and emotional person.
I don't think Napanee would be the place where you would get noticed. Avril wanted to get out of Napanee and all that, and just get to a bigger city.
And that was the last time I saw her. She was off and gone.
This is my way.
I came to New York City to write.
At 16, she wasn't in school anymore. She'd been noticed. And while working with professional songwriters in New York, one evening a man came by to hear her sing.
Someone from Arista just happened to come by and see me, and they were like, "Whoa, I'm gonna bring LA to come hear you."
Did you know who he was? No. It was L.A. Reid, the president of Arista Records.
I got a call asking me to come to the studio and hear this girl sing. I was in a rotten mood. I was in a really, really bad space, and really wasn't in the mood to do it at all. But I said, okay, you know what? Don't cancel. Just go and do it. Get it over with. And within 30 seconds, my whole mood had changed. I went from being a really aggravated, irritable guy to all of a sudden feeling like, God, I have never heard a voice like this.
He offered her a 2-album deal on the spot. And I was just like, come on. And they're like, you don't understand. It doesn't happen like this. You don't just get a record deal being like that. And if you're 16, you don't get to call the shots.
Anything in life, I won't do it if it doesn't feel right. I always go with my gut and stand up for what I believe in, and I'm a fighter. I fight for what I want.
When I got signed, I was signed just as a singer. I wasn't signed as a singer-songwriter, and I let them know that that was something that was important to me and that I wanted to do.
And they were just kind of like, what? This 16-year-old kid is like, I want to write my songs.
I don't want to be singing someone else's lyrics. I want to sing what's mine.
At the time, the bubblegum pop with the headsets and the background dancers was what was in at the time, and that definitely wasn't me. It was a fight to write my own music, and then it was a fight to get the sound I wanted, because I guess I was going for guitar driven music. I was like, I just want to sound like a band, I want to rock, and that was my challenge. And so it took I was in New York maybe 6 months working with tons of writers. It just was not happening. And then I went through a point where I think it just wasn't working out very great, and then I went to LA, and then I finally met with some people, producers and co-writers that listened to me, and I at that point had tried so hard, and I was developing into who I wanted to be, and it worked. I found people I clicked with.
You have a reputation for being in charge. Well, I mean, it's my face that's out there. It's my name. It's my picture on the album cover. I need to make sure that represents me fully. Everyone thought that I was going to be a fake Shania Twain, and I'd be like, no, I want to rock.
Girls say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
Here we go. Our next guest is a talented singer-songwriter whose debut CD has sold over 4 million copies. It's entitled Let Go. Please welcome Avril Lavigne.
Her first album, Let Go, was released in 2002.
And was deemed the biggest pop debut of the year.
Let Go sold more than 16 million copies around the world and made the then 17-year-old Canadian singer the new princess of pop punk.
Life begins to change for Avril when Let Go came out.
It pretty much took off immediately.
Being normal is what's hot today. And The simple beat, the simple melody, the catchy hook line, everything is simple. Less is more.
And the Juno for Album of the Year goes to Let It Go, Avril Lavigne.
The winner of the year's Best New Artist Award.
And the winner is Avril Lavigne.
And all the girls say I'm pretty fly.
For a white guy.
Grammy nominations, the 5'1" small town girl from Canada is the next big thing. It didn't even really hit me until like last week. Then I actually sat down like literally. I was like, whoa.
It's one of those fairy tale stories of the small town girl dreaming of the big city.
I was just flicking the channels and I saw like my face on TV and I was like, I'm famous.
Is it what you wanted? Yes, it's what I wanted. What I wanted was to be able to have everybody in this world to know my music. That doesn't work, you know, there's no other side to it.
She's quality. She's the best. She's top class. She's absolutely banging. Yeah. We love you, Avril.
It's like weird when people are like, you're a role model. I'm like, huh? But if I'm gonna be a role model, I guess I better be responsible.
I think she's a positive influence, definitely, and she makes people think, like, do it for yourself, don't follow everybody else.
So I see Jenna really cool, and a lot of people like try to follow the way she dresses to be like a big role model.
Nice.
Was that a trend?
Funny, I'm starting to trend.
The Avril Lavigne look, tight tops, baggy pants, and wristbands.
You guys are dressing like me.
Where did you get the inspiration for your outfit?
Myself, not Avril Lavigne.
The biggest seller in the local home hardware, this vintage t-shirt. Lavigne wore one on Saturday Night Live last month.
You can't buy this kind of publicity.
Like I read something how it was like maybe $2 million they estimated the publicity, like the time that she was on Saturday Night Live wearing the shirt type thing.
You hate conformity, and so do I. But if people start dressing like you, is that gonna piss you off?
If they want to dress like me, whatever. I'm just dressing like me, and that's all I really care about.
I mean, it's totally cool and stuff because it's like my fans, but it's like, see how everybody just Avril and Ty. It just made me go, that's enough now.
The new girl in town just turned 18, and not only Tom is fully dressed, the music media have given a name to her style. Oh God, that wasn't Whitney. I'm not made up, and I'm not being told what to say and how to act, so they have to call me the anti-Whitney, which they're not.
What hurt her the most was people calling her fake.
She used to sing country gospel type stuff. What's this girl doing rock? You know, is she really true to who she is?
It's a very strange thing having people label you. That was something I had to kind of get used to. I don't like being labeled. I'm a human. I don't like, Avril Lavigne, skater punk. And it's like,
I never once ever called myself punk.
People describe my music as punk. My music is not punk. It's rock pop. I want to be like known all around the world, known for like being a person who stands up for what they believe in and fights for what they want and doesn't care what other people think and just being themselves.
She packs a simple melody even grown-ups can relate to, and a simple message that speaks to kids, lots of them.
Cool, and why do you guys like her?
She's like a kid. Yeah, she's unique, got her own style.
Because she's herself. She doesn't like try to follow a trend.
Doesn't seem to understand.
Wow, I can't believe my music is helping someone.
A lot of my fans have written me letters being like, I totally know what you're talking about. I'm going through the same thing right now. And it's so rewarding for me to have people tell me, that my songs like touch them and that, they can relate because I'm just writing about things that I go through, and what I go through emotionally is what everyone else in this room goes through.
And then she said, well, what about like complicated, frustrated? I love these words. So I was like, okay.
I think it's a song that people can really relate to because like this life is just full of situations where you just like get really frustrated.
Next, Avril battles the backlash of success.
Anyone who has a lot of good things being said about them other people have to jump in and say bad things automatically. If someone's on a pedestal for that simple fact, just because they're up there, people just want to bring them down.
Just like that, I watched it crumble.
Everything just blew up so fast. It's like the whole tie thing just became too much. Everybody just expected me to show up with spikes on my wrists and a tank top and a tie everywhere I went, and it started to make me mad.
You just have to kind of like push that aside and just
Is it going to be hard to sort of follow this up? I know your album just came out, your very first album, but I mean, are you even thinking about your next album?
Oh yeah. I write all the time. Writing is how I deal with my feelings and my emotions. I'm really excited about the second record.
Her second CD is due later this year, one she promises will rock even harder than the first.
Past 2 years, our first guest has sold nearly 20 million CDs.
She's been a multi-platinum selling artist since the tender age of 17. Now she's 19.
We turn now to a young performer whose second album, Under My Skin, hit stores this week. It's 19-year-old Avril Lavigne.
Lavigne further cemented her pop-punk sound with her sophomore album, 2004's Under My Skin. Debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200, the record was a bit darker in tone.
This record, pretty personal though, isn't it?
Yep.
Hey, tell us a bit about why you wrote these songs and wanted to put them on it.
You know, when I write from personal experiences of mine and whatever I'm going through at the time. And lyrically, there's a little more depth to it. It's more guitar-driven, and there are heavier songs. I think a little more emotional.
I just want to say that this show tonight goes out to my grandpa, who passed away today.
Just having him in my head, I just broke down, and I wasn't gonna quit, you know. And the reason why I did the show is because I knew that he would want me to go on.
And the world's best-selling pop rock artist is Avril Lavigne.
You have your third album coming out. You released your first album when you were 17. Do you feel like you've been growing up in public in a way?
Definitely. I feel like my life's been documented, and everyone's got to, you know, see me grow and change.
Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome to another conspiracy theory video. And that is the theory that Avril Lavigne is really dead.
I'm totally a different person, but I'm not.
It's not Avril.
To people that don't understand, just to give people context, there's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is no longer with us. The overall theory is that Avril Lavigne is dead.
Yes.
And has been dead since 2003.
Yeah.
And she was replaced by an actress named Melissa Vandella.
Yes.
And Melissa has just been living as Avril Lavigne since her album Under My Skin.
People have been making videos to compare her voice in 2003 to performances later in her career, and have been saying that the voice is evidence and or proof that she is not the original Avril.
It was just like one of those dark gray days, and I was just like in that mood. And I was just like, I was depressed that day. It was just like, why don't people like me? You know, I didn't do anything to them.
She was this huge pop star, but she couldn't handle being famous, so the record label decided to remove Avril and have this new girl step in 2005.
There have been differences that people have pointed out in what she looks like.
You're already seeing some changes in her, like maturity-wise and stuff like that, and I'm sure that her music interests and her style and stuff like that will change over time. You don't stay in the same place, and if you do, you get stagnant, and people will not want to hear from you.
My style is changing, and that's going to happen with the age that I'm at. You know, I'm a teenager. I'm growing up. That is just how it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I always just focus on the positive side.
I think things will calm down now. You think so? Not for a while.
Her nightmare began while out on tour.
I woke up and I had like night sweats, and I felt like I had the flu, and this went on and off for a month, and I saw my doctor right away, got blood tests, got swabbed, and they didn't really know what was wrong with me.
So when did you first suspect that it might have been Lyme disease?
Probably 2 months into having it.
I went from doctor to doctor for about 8 months.
It all starts with a tick, and those ticks are small, and that means you may not even notice when one bites.
I just was up against a lot of doctors telling me, you're crazy. Either some of them were like, it doesn't exist, and I was like, but this is really happening to me, so it was pretty unacceptable and frustrating, but that's why I'm here today to talk about it, to bring awareness.
This is what they do to a lot of people that have Lyme disease. They don't have an answer for them, so they tell them, you're crazy.
God, keep my head above water, don't let me drown.
This song is a song that's very personal and very close to me. Head Above Water is a song that I wrote a night that I felt like I was actually dying and had kind of accepted it. I felt like I was going underwater, like I was like trying to come up and like get air. I turned to music and it was really healing for me, and it showed me how much like music is in my soul, in my body, in my blood, and I wasn't even thinking about making a record.
What have you learned about it, and what kinds of adjustments have you had to make?
Well, I believe that I will come out of this healthier and stronger than I was before.
God, keep my head.
The thing that's good for me to know, I'm just really grateful to know that like I will make 100% recovery.
It's such great news. If someone's out there suffering with Lyme disease, is there a message you want to give them?
There is hope. Lyme disease does exist, and you can get better. It's like a second shot at life. I want to go out there and truly do what I love.
You inspired so many artists, and I know Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, like those are huge artists right now that I love as well as a ton of people do, but they all credit to you, like for being one of their idols that they like listen to and love.
Avril Lavigne was everything to me, dude.
You listen a lot of Avril Lavigne?
Yeah, I love Avril. I'm just trying to be Avril Lavigne. Like old Avril Lavigne, that's me. That's the next world for me.
And I think when you're that young too, you don't really think about like how big the career could be.
Sometimes I wonder if like, you know, like what I really want is to have a long career.
Could you have imagined that you'd still be doing all of this 20 years into your career?
Yes, that's all I wanted. Oh yeah, I've been doing this for so long now.
I know, I mean, it's actually more than half your life.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people like on Instagram said, I can't believe it's been 20 years.
I feel like I got another 20 in me. Yeah. I always in my head thought like how like Madonna had been doing music her whole life. Like, and I just was like, I feel like I'll do that like my whole life.
Ladies and gentlemen, proudly welcome to the Walk of Fame, Avril Lavigne.
The star is a microcosm of everything that you are doing and have done for us. Your songs will live far past any of our lifetimes, so congratulations on being Avril Lavigne.
Do you know how to be a celebrity? Do I know how to be a celebrity? I don't know if I know how to be a celebrity. I know how to act like myself, and that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm worrying about.
Hi, this is Avril Lavigne.
So your name is Avril Lavigne.
I can't do it. I knew you half believed it! People talk about you, and people, once you become really popular, you have like people who don't like you and people who love you.
We're going to go rock and roll!
She has a look and the personality and the voice all together. That's what makes a star, and that's all she ever could be.